I'm back in the portal again. You understand me? First off, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the true name of the living God of Israel. Yahweh Shai is the true name of the one that everyone ignorantly called Jesus. And Rakakwadash is the true name or the true way that you say Holy Spirit in the Paleo Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? Second and foremost, I want to pay homage to all the great men of this script. You understand me? All the great prophets, all the great kings who have come before me, speaking this wise words, speaking this wise game, and also preaching and teaching of the new covenant. You understand me? Man, look, I did a lesson yesterday, and I felt the energy from you guys, you some of you men, and a lot of you women that watch my lessons. And when I say I feel the energy, it ain't necessarily just some of you people that watched it yesterday, but also those who are coming from the future who's gonna watch it, right? I felt the energy, so I'm making this lesson right here to basically elaborate on the lesson from yesterday, right? And some of the things that I spoke on. I'm gonna start off by saying, and a lot of women might get mad with me about this. A lot of you bitch ass niggas out there might get mad with me about this. But I spoke on prostitution yesterday. And I'ma just be honest with you guys, man. There's nowhere in this Bible, nowhere in this Bible, right? That if you're a Christian, if you're a Hebrew Israelite, if you're a Mormon, you're a Catholic, whatever the fuck your denomination is, right? There's nowhere in this book, and Hebrew Israelites, right, not all of them, but I'm gonna say Great Millstone for sure. They got it right. The rest of you niggas are off, right? And we gonna get into why you niggas are off. But there is nowhere in here where it is unlawful, right? It's degrading, right, for a woman to do such of a thing, but it is not unlawful for a woman to sell her pussy. Yeah, that right there gonna touch a lot of people's feelings right there. Yeah, a lot of people about to be hurt behind that. They about to be hurt behind that, and we gonna get into why, because the Lord touched me. He was like, you talked about Hosea and Gomer yesterday, but you need to go deeper into that so they can get understanding on why you saying 100% of the women that's walking around in America and in the West are whores, right? You need to go deeper into understanding so they can get it, because they not getting it. And I'm like, all right, Lord, I got you. I broke down to you guys what classified a woman to be a whore, and you can go get Deuteronomy chapter 24, right? Over here in the West, and what happens is a lot of times is that we read the Bible based upon how we were raised, right? How we look at things today. You can't do that. And that's what making people, confused with God. And even when people do wake up and realize what God really saying and put it in that time, a lot of people leave God. It be bitch ass niggas, and it be majority of the time women, because women go to realizing, okay, in God's eyes, I'm not equal to a man. But by the time they realize it, it kind of be too late for them, right? But prostitution is not illegal in the Bible. Okay, prostitution is totally legal in the Bible. Yeah, I know that's fucking a lot of y'all up, but it is. It's totally legal. And what classifies a woman to be a prostitute, right? She's a hoe, and she knows she a hoe, and she's willing to sell her pussy because now she's been demoted to a hoe. Her womanhood dignity is gone. She's no longer a virgin, right? And if she's a widow, right? If she done became a widow, besides her holding up her widow title, which is not fucking any more men after her husband dies, she just goes out here and just go to selling her pussy. She go to being with various men, right? So that's what classifies a woman to step into the role of prostitution. She's not a virgin, or she's a widow she's a woman who done became a widow, but besides her keeping her and keeping her widow form and remaining her holiness, right? Or her womanhood, the grace of her womanhood, she decides to, I'm going to sleep with various men. So now, since she want to sleep with various men, now she's a hoe, and now she's qualified to be a prostitute, right? If she want to do prostitution, she could do that. Really, it's better for her to even go into prostitution, okay? Yeah, that right there just fucked over a lot of y'all. That's why you can't read this Bible, man, with the mind frame that you have right now. You know what I'm saying? That this Americanized mind frame. But prostitution is very much legal in the Bible. God is not against a woman selling her pussy. What God is against, and it was only 4 reasons why a woman would get killed in the Bible. 4 reasons. It was only 4 reasons. Even in the New Testament, right? Because the law, what Christians like to say, and it's really bitch-ass men, but really it's women who's behind these bitch-ass men because they know they done got demoted. They know their womanhood dignity has been demoted. So they in the ear of bitch-ass men, bitch-ass preachers and deacons, right? They in their ear telling them, look, the law ain't in effect. Because they know if the law, if and that's going contrary to the New Testament, right? But they know if that law, if we get motherfuckers to still worry about that law, that means I'm going to be a hoe. And I don't want to be looked at as a hoe. You know, I got a degree. You know, I got a business. You know, I'm doing things. You know, I just bought a car. You know, I need the man to look at those things. That I got my own house. I got a car. I need him to see that. I don't need him to be focused on my body count like the Bible is saying. Okay, that's why she in the ear of those bitch ass preachers and those bitch ass motherfucking deacons. You feel me? You understand me? But at the same time, her word don't trump the Bible. It don't trump God's word. It don't trump the law, right? And instinctively, men, we know that and we move like that, and women know that too, and they, you know. They move accordingly, but the thing is, in America, a hoe is looked at as she's not punished for it. A woman ain't punished for being a whore. She's punished more for being a prostitute, for acknowledging her hoeing, than for her to move with dignity and still be a hoe, or looked at as with dignity and still be a hoe. You understand me? I hope I'm making sense of what I'm saying. But a bitch, right? A bitch is the type of woman that God hate. Now, what's a bitch? A bitch is a woman who knows she a hoe, who is hoeing, but don't want to accept the fact that she's a hoe. She don't want society to look at her as a hoe, right? She got more than one, well, really more than 2 bodies under her belt, but she don't want to be looked at as a hoe, right? She still want her dignity as a woman. Them the women that God hate. And like I said, it was 4 types. That's what I was getting into. It was 4 types of women that God commanded to be knocked the fuck off, right? And that was a witch, right? And if a bitch was a witch, 9 out of 10 she was a hoe too. That's just the way it went. She was already in a rebellious nature. So if that bitch was classified throughout the community that she was a witch, she was doing spells and shit, yeah, that bitch had some bodies under her belt too. You feel me? But she was a little more, I ain't gonna say wiser, but she was smarter than the prostitute bitch, because she understood I could take this nigga energy and manifest shit off of it, right? The second one was a lying virgin, a bitch that's lying saying she was a virgin, right? You really a hoe, but you lying talking about you a virgin. Nah, bitch. You get found out. That's what Deuteronomy chapter 22 is about. You get found out, bitch, when that man put that dick in you and you don't bleed. Yeah, bitch, you get put to death. You feel me? The third one was a woman that committed adultery. And like I try to explain to you guys, because the preacher and them, they not gonna give it to you. Some of these even bitch-ass Hebrew Israelites ain't gonna give it to you, right? Adultery, also, which is fornication, right? Adultery and fornication is the same thing, okay? That only happens when the woman is sleeping with another man outside of the man that she first fucked for her first time. So if the first dude that she fucked for her first time, if she with that dude and she fuck another dude, you understand me? While she with that dude, she committing adultery. That's the way the Bible looks at it. That's why I say women are whores, right? Because by the time you get this woman, she already got about, I ain't gonna lie, some of y'all fucking with women, bro, that got about 50 to 100 bodies already under their belt by the time you get with her. You understand me? You'll probably never know. At the most, she'll probably tell you that she only been with about 10 men, but she ain't gonna, them just men, that right there, just the 10 men that she's classifying as a relationship, that she been in a relationship with, that classifies her as a hoe. But she ain't gonna tell you about the other bodies that's in between. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, man, but I hope I'm explaining this well for you guys, man. And the fourth one is a widow that's portraying to be a prostitute, which means if a woman husband die, right? If her first husband die, she got one more time to get another husband. You know what I'm saying? If that man die, she can still go out there and get another husband because it ain't like he gave her a bill of divorce. It ain't like that second husband divorced her. Nah, he died. She can still be qualified to get another husband, but the thing is, it's going to be harder for her. And the reason why it's going to be harder for her because men, and I'm talking not the bitch ass niggas of the day, the men back then that looked at women from this mind frame. Men looked at women like that as like, shit, bitch, you really no good. Right? You already done had 2 niggas under your belt already. And both of them niggas died. You know what I'm saying? Bitch, you might got a demon on you. With every man that you get with, that nigga die. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta go read the book of Tobit to understand it. Right? There was a lady by the name of Sarah in the book of Tobit. It's in the Apocrypha. They took it out. I'm just gonna paraphrase it. But you can get that in Tobit chapter 3, verse 8. Starting from verse 8 to the 17, right? Every man that proposed to her already had paid for it, they had paid her daddy for her. When it got time for him to do the ceremony, which means when it got time for her to go inside of the room with that man and fuck, the man, he'll die. She had a demon on her. You know what I'm saying? So she was still a virgin, but she had a demon on her. But when it got to the point for the man to go in the room, bust her down, break her hymen, the man would die. You know what I'm saying? He never even made it to the pussy. You feel me? So her name went to spreading through the community. She got shamed on, cause it was like, damn, bitch, can't no man, you can't get no man. Every time the man get ready to bust you down, bitch, and her maid woman frowned on her and shamed her. You know what I'm saying? But you can go read that in the book of Tobit. But a widow, if she go out here and she go to, trying to after her husband died and she go out here besides her just holding her widowhood, still holding her grace, her dignity of her womanhood, she go out here, she go fuck this nigga, this nigga, this nigga, this nigga. But still, every nigga she get with, the first day, my husband died. But you fucking this nigga and then you go fuck this nigga, my husband died. She go fuck another nigga. The nigga asks her, you was married before, baby? Yeah, I was married, but my husband died. Give this nigga some pussy. If it get found out, bitch, you doing that, but you supposed to be a widow, yeah, you get put to death. And the reason why those 4 things happened to a woman that was moving in such of a way, because she wasn't portraying her true self. She was being a bitch, right? She wasn't portraying her true self. See, if she just would have portrayed her true self and just would have been like, you know what, I'm going to just sell this pussy. I know I'm demoted. I know I got more than 2 bodies under my belt. So from that point on, I'm just going to sell this pussy. Yeah, I'm going to sell this pussy. God would have never had that woman. Nothing would have happened to her. Nothing would have happened to her. She would have been living in her truth. But the problem today is, and what you men fail to realize, is that we are dealing with women that are not living in their truth. Yeah, I'm talking that shit today. We living in a time today where America has told a woman you can fuck and fuck and fuck and suck and suck and suck as many women, as many men as you want to, and you still can hold on to your dignity and your womanhood, right? You still gonna be looked at as a woman, right? And we're gonna get some accounts. We're gonna go to Genesis chapter 38. Right? Because prostitution is old. And ain't nothing wrong with prostitution when a woman is really doing it. You know what I'm saying? When she really selling her pussy, but ain't no going back to your womanhood. Your dignity gone. You know, you ain't no such thing. In the Bible, is no such thing as a woman being reformed from prostitution or selling her pussy. Right? That's why they put her ass to death when she wasn't portraying her life in such of a manner. Cause you lying. Bitch, you doing whole activity, but you lying. Like you ain't doing no whole activity. No, bitch, living your truth. You feel me? And I know a lot of bitch ass preachers out there gonna bring up, you know, the lady that the Pharisees brought, right? The lady that the Pharisees, what about, what they gonna do me just like they did Christ? What about this woman right here, Taz? Huh? What about her? That came to Christ, and Christ told her, go and sin no more. Well, let's get the story right. Before I even read Genesis 38, let's get that story right quick. That woman wasn't a prostitute. She was married. She was a wife. She was fucking various different men. So yeah, she fell into one of the categories that I just named, right? She was being a hoe, but she was committing adultery. That's why Christ told her, go sin no more. Bitch, stop fucking all these men. Because next time, they be honest with you, bitch, they got you right. They couldn't put you to death right now. They can. They can put you to death right now. But bitch, go sin no more. He ain't say try not to fuck no men. He told her, bitch, don't go out here fucking no more men. Bitch, go home to your husband. And only fuck on him. I hope y'all understand that. A lot of women gonna be mad with me behind this. I don't give a fuck. Bitch, you know, I don't give a fuck, because I know y'all bitches. Y'all know y'all hoes, but y'all don't want to admit that y'all hoes. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that ain't my problem. That's America. America trained you that way. You understand? I know America trained you that way. And, you know, I mean, I can't do nothing. I didn't make this, and I didn't create America. You understand me? So I'm just giving you the game, baby. Just like with you bitch ass niggas out there. I'm giving y'all the game. That's all I'm doing. You understand me? Let's go to Genesis 38. And this is talking about Judah, right? And Tamar, right? Where I want to go to. Boom. So I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. What happened was Tamar was married to Judah's son. But Judah's son ended up dying. So the way of this book, the way of this Bible, and I touched on it yesterday. The way of this Bible went when if that brother, right, if he died and he got a brother, but the dude that died didn't give the woman that he was married to any children, it's the responsibility of the brother to give that woman children, right? Because children is a legacy. It's not how it's looked at today. That let you know we dealing with whores, right? It was a shameful thing if a woman couldn't bear children, right? That was legacy. You know, basically she was no good. You feel me? So at this point, you know, the brother had died, and it was up to Onan, which was his brother, to give her babies, but Onan was like, fuck that bitch, I ain't giving you no kids, bitch. You know what I'm saying, bitch? I'm nah, bitch, because the kids ain't gonna be for me. They ain't like, it's my brother's legacy. You know what I'm saying? So he felt some type of way. So when he got time for him to bust a nut, he skeeted on the ground. God had him knocked off. That show you the importance of your seed, man. Right? And that show you God watching every bitch that you fucking on. Right? He watching. Right? And the only reason why God letting a lot of you niggas escape right now, because God charging it to the game. He looking at it, the way God looking at it as, well, you just, you know, you fucking on a hoe. You know what I'm saying? God are labeling some of you women out here right now as prostitutes. Even though you ain't walking the streets or nothing like that, but God charging it to the game like, okay, well, that nigga bought you some dinner, so, you know, that you got paid for your service, bitch. That's why a lot of you hoes still walking around this bitch right now. Okay? But anyway, Tamar had, after Judah was like, after Onan did that and God knocked this bitch ass off, Judah was like, look, man, go home to your, go home to your daddy, and still hold on to your widowhood, to your womanhood. And, and so you can, when my baby boy, when he get up in age, I have him to fuck you and give you some children. Okay? But besides you getting out here and, becoming a prostitute, or becoming a hoe, go home and still hold on to your grace, because I rock with you, Tamar. I respect you as a woman, So, let's read. and this is Genesis 38:12. It say, in the process of time, the daughter of Shua, Judah's wife, died, and Judah was comforted and went up unto his sheep shearers to Timnath, and he and his friend Harah the Adulamite. And it was told to Tamar, saying, behold, thy father-in-law goeth up into Timnath to shear his sheep. And she put her widow's garments off from her and covered her with a veil and wrapped herself and sat in the open place, which is by the way to Timnath, for she saw that Shelah was grown, and she was not given unto him to wife. So at this point, Tamar like, okay, Judah trying to play me, because his baby boy grown now, but he still ain't got in touch with me for let home to come put some dick off in me so I can have some children. So he trying to play me. You know what I'm saying? So now she taking upon herself to go into a prostitute mode to try to trick him, right? That's another thing. Prostitutes wear certain type of clothing. Women today, the average woman today, walking around with prostitute clothes on, but yet they don't want to be called hoes, right? They walking around with the booty shorts. They walking around with boxers on. They walking around, titties all out, no bra on, none of that, but they don't want to be called hoes. You feel me? That's a bitch. That's a bitch. You feel me? Let's keep going. Let's keep going. And some of you bitch ass preachers got women walking in y'all church looking like hoes, but you confronting them like they're women. You going off. You going off. And she put, let's keep reading. When Judah saw her, he thought her to be a harlot, a prostitute, a hoe, right? Because she had covered her face. And he turned unto her by the way and said, go to, I pray thee, let me come in unto thee. So what Judah saying, hey, come here, bitch, let me get some of that pussy. Let me buy some of that pussy. That's what Judah saying. For he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law. So Judah not knowing this Tamar. He thinking it's just a prostitute. He thinking it's just a bitch walking the street, you heard me? Just like most of us men do with most of these hoes that's out here walking, and you see her with her booty shorts on, or you going at her like she a hoe. Say, little mama, come here, let me holler at you. You heard me? Yeah, come on. I'm running that shit today. And she said, what would thou give me? Not what would thou give me? Don't that sound like the average bitch today? But yes, she don't want to be called a hoe, right? She don't want to be called a hoe. Because the only thing she's eligible for at that point is prostitution, right? That thou mayest come in unto me. So Tamar asking Judah, look, what you gonna give me if I let you get some of this pussy? Let's keep going. And he said, I will send thee a kid from the flock. And she said, wilt thou give me a pledge till thou send it? And he said, what pledge shall I give thee? And she said, thy signet and thy bracelets and thy staff that is in thine hand. And he gave it her and came in unto her, and she conceived by him. So she tricked him, right? She got what she wanted. And we're going to keep reading why she told him to give her those things, those items, right? As she arose and went away and lay by her veil laid by her veil from her, and put on the garments of her widowhood. So she played the game right, because by right, she ain't doing nothing wrong. She just had to play the game that way. You know what I'm saying? She had to act like she was a prostitute to get Judah, but she ain't doing nothing wrong, really. But we gonna keep reading. We gonna keep reading. And Judah sent the kid by the hand of his friend, the Adulamite, to receive his pledge from the woman's hand, but he found her not. Then he asked the men of that place, saying, "Where's the harlot? Where's the hoe? Where the prostitute that was openly by the wayside?" And they said, "There was no harlot in this place. There was no hoe over here." And he returned to Judah and said, "I cannot find her." And also the men of the place said that there was no hoe in that place. So his homeboy going back to him like, "Bro, I can't find her. That hoe that you were talking about, that you fucked on, that you paid, that you want me to go pay, I can't find that hoe." And then I asked the men over there, they say, "Man, ain't no hoe posted over there. It's just, I'm in Dallas, man. Look, every nigga know the blade is over there off of Harry Hine. So where Judah at right now, that's the blade, right? But when the dude go over there looking for Tamar, or looking for the hoe that Judah had seen on the blade, that hoe ain't there no more, right? That hoe ain't there no more. Some of you hoes need to be on the blade. Fuck. I'm just being honest, bitch. You out here, I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that. I'm not right now. I'm going to get to that, though. And Judah said, "Let her take it to her, and lest we be shamed. Behold, I sent this kid, and thou hast not found her." So look, Judah like, "Man, look, man, we got to find this bitch and pay her, because shit, I don't want my name to be ran down the mud like, I'm fucking these hoes, like just how a man is today, amongst prostitutes, right? A trick that's amongst prostitutes. He don't want the fuck over one prostitute, right? A good trick. Right? He don't want to fuck over a good prostitute, and that prostitute go run her mouth to all the other prostitutes and be like, "That nigga don't pay. That nigga be trying to rob and scheme hoes." Right? Now that's gonna knock him from getting pussy from the rest of them hoes. Right? So Judah in the same mind frame of, I hate to say it, but it's the truth, of a trick that want to keep his good name amongst the hoes. Right? That's just what it is. You feel me? And it came to pass about 3 months after that, it was told to Judah, saying, "Tamar, thy daughter-in-law, have played the harlot. And also, behold, she is with child by whoredom." So after 3 months, Tamar showing now. She's showing that she pregnant now. So niggas running back to Judah like, "Man, I thought your daughter-in-law was a widow. I thought she wasn't out here fucking like that. Nigga, come to find out, nigga, your daughter-in-law been selling pussy left and right." You know how niggas talk. They don't know what Tamar really done did, but they like, "Shit, bitch, if the bitch been a widow, she ain't been fucking. She ain't supposed to been fucking. How she get this baby? Yeah, that hoe been giving pussy away, man. Come on, man." Right? And Judah said, "Bring her forth and let her be burnt." Prove my other point, right? A widow that's going out being a prostitute, right? Because, bitch, besides you staying a widow, you out here being a prostitute. You go out here and fuck this man, but you saying, "My husband died." You still want your widowhood. You go fuck this man, fuck this next man. "My first husband died," but you acting like a hoe. You still want that man that you fucking on to look at you still as a widow. You want the rest of the community to think only as you as a widow and to that nigga that you was married to, while you out here fucking all the other men. Nah, bitch, you get put to death. Bitch, you get burnt. Bitch, you lying. You ain't being real to what the fuck you really are. You feel me? Let's keep reading. And when she was brought forth, she sent to her father-in-law, saying, "By the man whose these are, am I with child?" And she said, "Discern, I pray thee, whose are these? The signet and the bracelets and the staff." And Judah acknowledged them and said, "She have been more righteous than I." So now Judah like, damn, that bitch that I was looking for 3 months ago, that was Tamar. Tamar, bitch, you played the game right. Gotta clap for you, hoe. You played the game. That's what Judah doing. You played the game right. Because I didn't want to fuck on you. You know what I'm saying? But you ended up getting that dick out me anyway. You understand me? Because by right, Judah was supposed to give her a baby if the other brothers wouldn't. Somebody from that boy lineage had to give Tamar a baby. You understand? So since Tamar was like, "Okay, Judah, you ain't gonna give me your son, so I gotta get some dick out you to keep my womanhood," right? So my name don't go down bad because, once again, it was very disrespectful and disgraceful if a woman couldn't bear children. So Tamar was going to end up dying. If Judah didn't do that, if she didn't do it for Judah, she was going to end up dying a woman without children. Her name was going to be stained on the earth, right? That's why it's important to understand the set and understand the customs of this Bible. If you don't, you're going to be trying to apply your modern day mind to this book. You're going to get lost and turned out, right? So, Judah like, all right, bitch, yeah, you did that, Tamar. You know what I'm saying? You did that. And Tamar, that's why Tamar asked him, like, give me this, give me the bracelet, give me that. Because she knew down the line how they was going to react to it. Like, oh, bitch, you been playing the field. But Tamar like, I ain't played the field, I just played the game right. Let's keep reading. Let's keep reading. And because that I gave her not to Shelah my son, and knew her again no more, and it came to pass in the time of her travel that, behold, twins in her womb. And it came to pass when she traveled that the one put out his hand, and the midwife took and bound upon his hand a scarlet thread, saying, this came out first. And it came to pass as he drew back his hand, that behold, his brother came out. And she said, how hast thou broken forth? This breach be upon thee. Therefore his name was called Pharez. And afterward came out his brother that had the scarlet thread upon his hand, and his name was called Zerah, right? So, she played the game right. You know what I'm saying? Tamar didn't get put to death, right? Tamar didn't get because she really still kept her widowhood, her grace, right? She, she portrayed like she was a prostitute, but she still kept it within the realm of what she was doing. She didn't go out and fuck no other man. She fucked Judah, the man that she was really supposed to fuck anyway. You understand? But I had to read that as an example of why women were getting put to death, because they were lying. Only way a woman got put to death back then is she was lying on that pussy. Bitch, you lying on that pussy. Now, like I say, a woman that, notice Judah, the Bible ain't say nothing about God got mad with Judah because Judah went and bought him a piece of pussy. No. Prostitution is legal in the Bible. You can fuck prostitutes in the Bible. Now, you still got to use discernment, because you might fall in love with that piece of pussy like Hosea and Gomer, right? But God told Hosea to go do that because he was showing Hosea, like, see how everybody looking at you, Hosea? Because you fucking this hoe? You fucking this known prostitute? That's how the world look at me behind y'all as men. My men. They looking at y'all, they laughing at me. Because y'all playing a hoe with all these other nations and they gods. Same thing that Gomer doing with you. Because Gomer, she ended up